What's going on, everybody? Today I will be previewing the 2024 college football schedule for Liberty. I will go through each of their games and I will predict which games on the schedule I think they will win, and I will also predict which games on the schedule I think they will lose. Liberty should be a pretty decent team next year. They're losing a decent amount of talent and they could take a step down, but they will be returning Caden Salter at quarterback, and I do expect them to be decent. But before we get into talking about their schedule, let me remind you guys to like the video and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you will love this channel because we upload daily college football content and we basically cover everything on this channel, so definitely consider subscribing. And also consider joining my Discord server down in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Last season, Liberty finished with a 13-1 record. Their only loss came to Oregon in a New Year's Six bowl game. And it was a pretty great season for Liberty football. 2023 was really a breakout season for Liberty, and they won a pretty bad conference, but I definitely expect them to carry over their momentum from last season. I don't know if they're one of my favorites to make the 12-team playoffs because of the lack of competition, but they could definitely be in the conversation because of the success that they had last season. And if they go undefeated, it would be hard to leave a team like them out. And I think their schedule could definitely set up for an undefeated season. Do I think they will go undefeated? I don't know. I guess you have to watch the rest of the video to find out. So let's get into predicting their 2024 schedule. And their first game of the season will be at home against Campbell. This should be a very easy win for this Liberty team. Campbell isn't a great team and they will be the cupcake game for Liberty on the schedule. This is their FCS game on the season to make their schedule even more easier than it already was. And this will be a good warm-up game for Liberty football on the season, so I have them moving to 1-0 to start the season. And there's nothing much to say about this game. The next game for Liberty football will be on the road against New Mexico State. And this should be a good test early on in the season for this Liberty team. New Mexico State was a solid group of 5 team last season, and these two teams played twice last season, and both games were pretty competitive, but Liberty actually won both games by double digits. The Conference USA is a pretty bad conference, but this is definitely one of the better games that we will get to see out of this conference. And this was the conference championship game last season as well. But I do still think Liberty will have more talent than this New Mexico State team heading into next season. So I do have Liberty beating New Mexico State on the road, and I have Liberty moving to 2-0 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be at home against UTEP. UTEP is a terrible football team, and they actually only won 3 games in a bad conference last year. So I don't expect UTEP to take a major jump in 2024. Liberty will just be too talented for this UTEP team. And last season, Liberty did beat this UTEP team, so I expect Liberty to win this game. And I have Liberty beating UTEP and moving to 3-0 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be at home against East Carolina. East Carolina went 2-10 last season, and that just shows how bad the competition for Liberty football is. East Carolina had one of the worst offenses in college football last season, and I do expect this East Carolina team to be better. They've done very good at bringing in offensive players in the transfer portal, and I could see them being a 5 or 6 win team next season, but I still do have Liberty winning this non-conference game against East Carolina. And I have Liberty moving to 4-0 on the season. This ECU team could be better than people expect them to be, and they could possibly keep this game close, but regardless, I do have Liberty winning this game at home. The next game for Liberty football will be on the road against Appalachian State. This will also be a non-conference game, and this probably will be their toughest game of next season. Appalachian State is always a solid football team, and they're pretty tough to play on the road. Appalachian State is returning a decent amount of talent, and I expect them to win a decent amount of games next season. This Appalachian State coaching staff is shaping up to be a really good coaching staff, and I expect great things from head coach Sean Clark in year 5 as a head coach. This Appalachian State team didn't make any big moves in the transfer portal, but they also didn't lose a lot of players. So I do expect them to be a bit better next season. And I think this will be a tough game for Liberty on the road, and I have Liberty losing their first game of the season. So I have Liberty moving to 4-1 on the season. Liberty will have their first bye week after their game against Appalachian State, and then following their bye week they will play FIU at home. Last season, Liberty beat this FIU team 38-6. FIU could be a bit better next season. They're returning some offensive production, and they have done a pretty good job at recruiting and utilizing the transfer portal, but I still don't expect them to really compete with Liberty. Liberty should be a lot better than this FIU team, so I do have Liberty winning this game at home and moving to 5-1 on the season at the halfway point. Following their game against FIU, Liberty will have their second bye week of the season, but after their bye week, they go on the road to play Kennesaw State. And Kennesaw State will be playing their first season at the FBS level, and this will be a conference game for Liberty football in 2024. I really don't know much about this Kennesaw State team, but don't be surprised if they make an impact right away. Kennesaw State wasn't really a great team last season, but they are returning a lot, and they rank top 7 in production returning in college football. I'm not saying they will be very good, but I feel like we have a lot more to learn about this Kennesaw State team. But I still have Liberty winning this game on the road and moving to 6-1 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be at home against Jacksonville State. This Jacksonville State team was very solid last season, and they won a bowl game, and they also finished the season with a 9-4 record. And last season was their first season at the FBS level, so that was pretty impressive. This Jacksonville State team is returning a decent amount of talent, and they do have a pretty bright future. They've kind of been forgotten about because the other FBS newcomers like Liberty and James Madison get way more attention, but I really like this Jacksonville State team heading into next season, and they could potentially win the Conference USA. Last season, Liberty beat Jacksonville State pretty easily, and I do expect Liberty to win this game, but I expect it to be a bit closer this year. But this game could definitely go either way. But Liberty should definitely be the favorite in this game, and they have this game at home, so I do have to go with Liberty winning this game, and I have them moving to 7-1 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be on the road against Middle Tennessee. Last season, the game between Liberty and Middle Tennessee was a pretty close game, and it was definitely a fun one. This season, Liberty will have this game on the road, but I don't really expect Middle Tennessee to be great. They don't have that much talent on the team, and their defense should be pretty bad next season, so I have to go with Liberty winning this game, and I have them moving to 8-1 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be on the road against UMass. This could definitely be an interesting trap game. It will be a late season non-conference game on the road. UMass is returning a lot of talent, and they do rank third in production returning on defense in the whole country. This UMass team brought in some really solid players in the transfer portal, and I think this is going to be the best UMass team next season that we've seen in a very long time. They brought in 2 highly rated 4-stars from the transfer portal on offense, and all around this team should have some decent talent. UMass hasn't had one winning season at the FBS level, and they're one of the worst teams in college football over the last 10 years. But I would not be surprised to see UMass win 6 or more games next season. But if we are being realistic, I still do have to pick Liberty to win this game. But this could definitely be a difficult road game, and watch out for UMass next season. I am a little unsure about UMass because they have been a terrible team for a very long time, but maybe next season they take a step up. But I do have Liberty winning against UMass and moving to 9-1 on the season. The next game for Liberty football will be at home against Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky should have a solid offense next season. They brought in quarterback TJ Finley from Texas State, and he should be a decent quarterback for Western Kentucky going forward. They are losing some talent, but I expect their offense to still be good. And with the talent that they brought in, they could even win more games next season. They went 8-5 in 2023, and they finished their season with the bowl win. I think this Western Kentucky team will be solid, and I have Western Kentucky beating Liberty on the road. So I have Liberty losing their first conference game against Western Kentucky, and I have them moving to 9-2 on the season. And this should definitely be a fun, high-scoring game. The last game of the regular season for Liberty football will be a game on the road against Sam Houston. Sam Houston was a pretty bad team last season. They were competitive in a majority of their games last season, and maybe they could be a bit better next season. They did put up a good fight in a lot of their games last season, but they are really lacking talent, so I have to go with Liberty winning this game on the road, and I have Liberty finishing the season with a 10-2 record. 10-2 would be a bit of a step down for this Liberty team, but I think the odds are very low for Liberty football to go undefeated back-to-back seasons. They do have that tough non-conference game against Appalachian State, and I think they will lose that game for sure. I see them going 10-2 or 11-1, but 10-2 was the most realistic prediction in my eyes. They lost a decent amount of talent, and it's very hard to go undefeated back-to-back seasons. But you guys let me know down in the comments below how many games you think Liberty football will win in 2024. But anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Let me remind you guys to like the video, and also subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. And if you guys love college football, then you will love this channel, because we upload daily college football content, and we basically cover everything on this channel. So definitely consider subscribing, and also consider joining my Discord server down in the description below. But that's going to do it, guys, and peace out.